So I'm Jesse Walker, and I'm a faculty member here at Rossville Lake College. My background is in chemistry, formally, and so I completed both a master's degree and PhD up in Thunder Bay, Ontario. I was in nuclear medicine, so I was at a facility that we were making radioactive drugs for cancer treatment, cancer diagnosis. So I did my PhD in organometallic chemistry. So it's the interaction with metals with organic frameworks, right? And so an example would be hemoglobin in blood, right? That's a good example of a organometallic complex. But I was researching anti-cancer drugs for my master's thesis, and sort of chemical catalysis and making catalysts for other reactions for PhD studies. 100%, absolutely. Yeah, the fascinating thing for me, and what really made it really interesting was the fact that I was making things that no one had ever made before, right? I was exploring molecules and building things that were totally new, right? And so I thought that was a fantastic aspect of that type of research that I was doing at the time. Not only that, but you have the chance to change lives, and you have a chance to really affect really the world, right? In terms of, I was doing this anti-cancer drug research that I was working on, the ways that can affect people's lives, and it's quite remarkable. Teaching is something that I've always been drawn to. My mother was a teacher for 35 years, and my dad was a teacher as well. So I grew up around teachers, and they were really, dedicated to the craft, as you would say. I think the big thing for me is again relating to the independent thought and sort of getting to be in a situation where you're presented with a challenge or problem, and you're given the tools um, to kind of work yourself through it and come up with that solution, whether or not it's the right solution. Um, but that's also part of the process, is determining if that is the right solution, and some of that reflection, right? And so if you can instill that, I think that alone is applicable to generally everything, and is such an important skill set to have and to build upon. I think with whatever you go into, if it's at a university level or a trade, or if you're looking at any kind of career path, right? I think you're going to be faced with challenges. You're going to be faced with opportunities to come up with solutions on your own, or and also in a group. That's another important part too, right? Is working with peers. Anywhere you go, you're going to be faced with these challenges, and so whether or not it's chemistry, if it's in a culinary field, or generally anything, it's such an important skill set to be able to move past hurdles and to be able to problem solve. I grew up in Northern Ontario. It's very reminiscent of what we see here, right? And so I spent a lot of time in the outdoors. There's a unique place up in Thunder Bay called Kingfisher Lake Outdoor Education Center. And as a kid growing up in Thunder Bay, I was able to take advantage through the Lakehead School Board of this place, and it was very reminiscent of Rossville Lake. And in an outdoor setting, you really got to explore some of the really interesting aspects of outdoor education. And so I spent a lot of time up there. I did a co-op there during high school, and worked there in the summers in university. And so to see that a place like that exists here was just really intriguing. I was like, wow, this is really cool. Oh, it means so much. Exploring just the outdoors can be so beneficial from, so many standpoints. Canoe trips, the logistics behind planning, and then to going on the canoe trip, running into problems where, I've had canoe flips with full heaping, cargo in a flowing sort of water system, right? So, and just problem solving that, and doing portages and really pushing yourself to overcome obstacles. But even just exploring nature. I think we're at a point in our history here on society where it's more important than ever to understand what's going on outside and to understand how we can make the environment a better place, and especially from a chemist standpoint, right? In terms of the damaging effects of some of the chemistry we've done in the past, and sort of what are the solutions that we can do in the future to help sort of put us back on track, right? It's a really fascinating part of it, and being outdoors is the way that you can really dive in and explore it.